Michael Jordan had a coach. Lionel Messi has a coach. Nolan Ryan had a coach. Why don't you have a coach? With us today is Rob Wentz of Elevate Business Advisors. And as a business coach, Rob knows business and he's got a pretty unique sales and marketing background that we're going to talk about too. If you've followed either of us or been around either of us, you know today is going to be pretty entertaining. Stay tuned. We've known each other for a little over a year. From 10,000 Small Businesses. We took that class together, at which point we were identified as, you already know where I'm going with this.
I do.
Statler and Waldorf, which for those of you that may not know, were the two grumpy Muppets that sat up in the balcony.
Yep. And they were the judges, the critiques.
Yeah,
they had all the comments.
They did have all of the comments, right. And about most of the things that they shouldn't have commented on.
Yeah, that's what made it right.
Correct. That is very much par for the course for the two of us.
Correct.
We're going to talk about a number of things. We're going to talk about some of your business. We're going to talk about some of the marketing that you've done. And one of the things that I've noticed is you've been doing some like short LinkedIn videos where, first off, I'm going to comment that you get creepily close to your camera.
Yes, you may have told me that before.
I hold, when I watch these, I hold the phone further away. But you're doing business tips on those, yeah. and they're great. Where'd that inspiration come from?
So it came from just someone that's helping us with our social media saying, what if you gave some video? Video would get a better insight into who you are. You know, words are words sure. when you print them on a piece of paper, but really getting to understand who is Rob, what is Elevate? Even Sandra, my wife, she does some videos from time to time. You know, who are we? It's really important. It's a very personal business that we do. You know, if we're going to work with somebody, the personalities have to go together. And so the videos are supposed to portray, this is who I am, this is where I'm at. You know, if this is what you like, perfect. If not, that's okay too. I'm not for everybody.
Neither one of us is for everybody.
Right.
We are Statler and Waldorf.
Very fitting.
Not everyone was a fan of those guys. Weird. I don't understand it.
No, they were like the stars of the show.
The 100%. Green frog? What green frog? I mean, your goal is, getting to be the face out there, the personality out there, getting people to know you. Have you seen that work? Are people approaching you about that?
Absolutely. It's interesting for us because you will start to hear, oh my gosh, you guys are everywhere. We see you all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, we are busy, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah, you are.
But we're not as busy, I don't think, as people would like to think we are. But so we're starting to get a lot of feedback. Oh, I watch your videos. I'm following you. And it's really interesting because some people are interested the first time they meet us, like, oh, we should talk. But then you have these other reserved personalities that have to collect all the information first. So they have to watch
every video,
15 videos and everything else we do. And then they say, okay, now we should talk. So we have found a lot of really good and positive feedback based on the videos, other than maybe it's a little too much me in the screen.
Have I commented on that to you before?
I think once, maybe.
If someone else is looking to do like LinkedIn videos like that, what advice would you give them?
Well, my point is just be you.
Sure.
Just and be the subject matter expert, right? Yeah. Tell them something, you know, I'm not giving away everything. I'm telling them what they should do. If they can't do it, oh, I'm here, I can help. It'd be just like doing this podcast. You just say, oh, go get a microphone, get headsets and turn a camera on. Sure. If they could do that, great. But if not, then come here into the studio and you'll help them with it.
Right. There's many people that do that and it shows.
Yeah, kind of like my videos.
I didn't say that. I may have been insinuating that. I did not say that. But I'm sure you run into that in the same way in businesses because everyone knows how to run their business just perfect.
Correct.
Mine is squeaky clean. There are no issues. It is 100% fine. And yeah, your face is going to break there.
Yeah. But you got to remember, we have business too. And we have to do the same things inside our business that we help our clients with.
Yeah.
We're humans too. We have issues inside our business that we have to fix.
Yeah.
So just because we're a coach doesn't mean we have no issues.
You left that one wide open.
I did. I tried.
I'm going to leave that one in order to stick with some topic here, just
perfect.
to make sure.
Sure.
What's been some roadblocks in creating those? I mean, it's obviously, I mean, the first one, if you go back and look at that one, you're like, ouch.
They're horrible. The first one is not good. The beauty of it is, and as much as I like to talk, and we know I like to talk, we both do. It was really hard for me to get in front of the camera and ramble, if you will, or have a script. Scripts for me are really bad because then I'm reading it. So I need to have concepts. Okay, what do I want to talk about? And then it was like, oh, but keep it to 1 minute. Holy cow, I can't even introduce myself in 1 minute, let alone tell you what I want to tell you. So the hardest part for me was just starting and doing it. It's not as hard now. Come with a little bit of a plan, a little outline. Okay, what do I want the takeaway to be? Turn the camera on and go, and just be me.
Yeah. It's funny because it's something that I talk to people about. And often when it comes to podcasting is I do suggest people have guests or at least a co-host. Because like for me, like right now, if I turn to that camera, it's tough to talk to that camera for so many people. Right here, we've got an interaction.
Sure.
You can see that if I'm interested, disinterested, I'm over here making funny faces when it's just you on camera, whatever it is. But you can see that if I'm engaged, if you're starting to lose me, whatever. With an audience, it's very different than with speaking to a camera. You're looking into that piece of glass like, boy, I hope this lands.
Right.
And you don't know until you get the good or the bad comments or the fact that, I mean, you got one like from your mother or something like that.
Yeah, it's great to have her on payroll so that she does those things for me. Right. But what I have is multiple accounts for her, so then she goes, and then she could do a couple likes for me.
Right. She changes the names every once in a while so that, someone new liked the video.
Correct.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you balance LinkedIn with your other marketing efforts? Because you guys do a lot of events. You guys, how do you match those things together rather than just throwing randomness out there?
Yeah. So for us, and we're not a marketing company, and I'm not going to pretend to be one, but LinkedIn is only one component compared to, Instagram or Facebook or the events. For us, it's actually in-person events is way better for us.
Makes sense.
Because then we can have these conversations. So networking is a big deal for us. I believe that LinkedIn, because we are looking for the business owner, so where else would you be looking?
Right.
Is LinkedIn. The only reason we're on the other platforms, or one of the reasons, is they are also human. So they have that other side that when they're not being an owner, they may have some other, they may like to go on other platforms and they may come across us. But we use it as an informational tool. But again, in person and networking is really the go-to for us.
Oh, 100%. And you guys do it well. To watch you guys work a room, you talk to people, you make everyone feel welcome. Somehow you do that. Even with the length that you and I talk to people, you find a way to hit every person in that room. I am talking to one person in the corner the whole time, and I've watched you two just go around. It's a skill that you guys have obviously worked on.
Thanks. We actually make it an effort, to go separate, and then at an event, if there's a lunch or a meal, we don't sit at the same table on purpose. So that we can have... That
was her suggestion.
She said, I don't want you to sit here because you could screw up this opportunity we may have. So if you go sit over at that table, then I think we'll be better off.
Go sit with the annoying people.
Yeah.
And
go find Josh, go sit over with him, and you guys will be fine.
100%. So from the business side of this, we're going to dive into some of the business planning stuff.
Sure.
I still think we're going to keep this interesting somehow.
Okay, good luck.
You've spoken about the importance of detailed business plans.
Yeah.
What are some of the basic key elements that people often miss when they aren't, besides not having a plan, which so many business owners are like, no, I'm going to do this. I got a plan in my head.
Yeah. So one of the stats is less than 1% of all business owners have a written plan.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. That's a stat through the Small Business Association. That's not a Rob stat. That's a stat that's out there. Less than 1% have a written plan. Okay. So if we take that, so 99% are out there winging it. So when something goes wrong, you may lose a client. That's not your fault. They may go out of business. They may sell, whatever. You lose a vendor, same reason. Nothing that you did, right? Like your business has to change. But if you don't have a pivot point, if you don't know where you're going, how do you know what that change should be?
To start pulling levers.
Yeah, and that's what happens.
That's scary.
And so then by the time someone comes to us is, okay, I've tried to pull the levers and I still keep hitting a glass ceiling. I keep getting what I'm getting, but I want more. Or, it's really them taking everything out from up here and putting it on paper. I actually just talked to a person yesterday, a business owner. She says, Rob, it's time for us to work together because I have everything up here and I'm failing my employees.
Oh, love that.
Those were her words. I'm failing my employees because they don't know what's in my head.
No. And if they did, they would probably be, as business owners, we both know that if our employees knew what was in our head, they would be afraid.
Yeah, they would run. They wouldn't be, you would be looking for them and they would be down the street.
We would hear tears.
Yes.
They'd be asking for helmets.
Right.
That documentation, I mean, you guys obviously help them get that started because is there a framework that's typical or?
We have a whole process. We have a whole workbook that we lead people through to extract that information. Some of it's financial. So some financial history to understand where they were, where they are. Are there, if revenue's going up 2 times, but expenses are going up 4 times, this is a problem. It's just to see what the trends are.
Yeah.
Right. So we're trying to identify where they've been to where they are. Then we also do it and we look at people, anyone inside their business. We look at competition. Not to say, oh, that XYZ is our biggest competition. We need to change. We need to do something. No, you just need to know how to address them when you're talking to a potential customer. To understand what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, just what's happening in the industry. Is pricing going up? Is pricing coming down? Right. So we just need to have some basic industry knowledge of what's happening. And for me, if I don't know your business, I need to ask questions so that I can start to understand it. So then I know the next questions to ask. So I know the next things to be looking into on your behalf, because I'm not going to pretend to know everybody's industry.
No,
I don't know that. I know business, but I can't pretend to know from a dentist to a stonemason to IT to printing to podcaster. I mean, those are a lot of industries. I can't know all that.
They're slightly differently.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's chairs in here. I am not sticking anything in anyone's mouth or no drills,
right?
No chisels, no hammers, which stonemason and dentist may have that.
They're very similar that way.
You've talked to about making sure that you enlist trusted advisors. Yep. You mentioned that this is sensitive. What makes it so sensitive for people? Well,
in a business, it's either going to be your first or second largest asset that you have behind your home. Either just, again, depending. Your home might be bigger, your business might be bigger, but they're going to be your 2 largest assets. And so for us to come in and you to open up, and you're going to bare your soul. You're going to show the financials because I can't help you with them if I don't know them. And so it becomes very personal, and you've probably built the business. I mean, in some places someone bought it. Okay, fine. But in most instances, you built it probably from the ground up, or maybe a generation before you had it. Yeah. Right. So it's an important piece to you. So you're not just going to turn it over to anybody and give the keys to the castle to anybody.
Sure.
And I'm not the owner of it. I'm just helping steer the ship. I mean, the owner still is in control, but they're really bearing their soul and they're showing, I see all the skeletons in the closet and all that stuff, but that's the only way I can help them is when I know it. So if we don't have a connection personally, it's not going to work. And they probably wouldn't tend to work with us because we didn't have the right synergy. So it is.
Big word.
Yeah. I looked it up right before I came here. I said, if I'm going to do a podcast with Josh, I have to figure out a word that I could use.
That I won't know.
Well, but that would make me seem like I'm more intelligent than you. Yeah.
Okay. That's that. So you said something better than the table. I love it.
Yeah.
You said business owners too need to understand their financials, their numbers. What are some of the keys in that? And when I know you said you've got a kit where you go over some of that.
Yep.
The question that I have to ask is, does that kit include a red crayon?
Most of the time that it is written in a big red crayon, like scratched on there. And then they tried to erase the red crayon, as we know that.
And just use a pen.
Yeah, then we tried a different color, maybe a marker that time. No, but sadly enough, most business owners do not know their numbers inside the business.
Wow.
And that those would be all the way from like the number of leads that they need to acquire in order to turn into customers or clients, which turn into revenue, so on and so forth. Most owners can tell me revenue and money in the bank. That's it. And that money in the bank is we have enough or we don't have enough.
Once again, it's red crayon or black pen.
Yeah, it's very scary. And then you'll get, and we have plenty of them, clients that say, oh, I don't number. I don't like numbers. But you do like making a living and you do like getting a paycheck from this business, right?
Right.
So we have the tools that can break it down that says if you're doing X this year and you want it to be double or whatever, triple, okay, what do we have to do? We have to figure out what are some actionable items we can do in order to just get, you're not just going to get double. And you don't just get a lead, by the way. You have to fill your pipeline.
They don't just magically fall out of the sky.
That's what I think some people believe happens is that I just wish leads and leads happen. So we look at all levels of the business so that they're making educated decisions at that point. So I'm more comfortable saying, okay, the numbers say this. Why don't we make these decisions for your business?
So, you guys work with a broad array of businesses.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it because you get to learn about a lot of different things. It's the same thing. It's one of the reasons why I love about the studio. I get to hear all sorts of conversations, learn about all sorts of stuff, and I get paid to do it.
Yeah, that's right. So even better.
Yeah. It's so awesome. Yep. Like larger businesses, small businesses. Mm-hmm. What is the huge difference in working with them?
The first is the numbers. The bigger businesses or the mid businesses. Yeah, well, yes, there's an actual extra number for a lot of them to get from small to mid. But they have a better understanding of the numbers inside their business. And at that point, there's a team involved. That means the most mid businesses, not all, because there's some big businesses that don't have this in place, will have systems and processes. Will have the ability to delegate, to be able to have efficiencies in the business. Now, you'll be scared to see some really big businesses that don't have any of this in place. And when I say big, we could be talking hundreds of millions of dollars with the basics not included in their business, not in their daily routines. It's amazing.
Wow. Somehow it just runs. And all it takes is one toothpick to be pulled out and suddenly...
And it comes down.
That's scary.
Very.
You've also talked like business is becoming more global. Mm-hmm. How does a small business look at that?
So I think what I'm finding a lot of business owners that are, I'm 50, so my age and up, that didn't grow up in social media world. And some have different reasons. They don't care for social media. They don't want people seeing what's happening in their business, whatever those reasons are. And they're not comfortable with it, so they don't embrace it. But what we have to understand is there's a whole market outside of our local geography that we can service. So you can service. We have clients out of state. So I have to be able to reach other clients out of state.
Sure.
Right? So are most of ours here locally? Yes. But I do have them where they're out of state. So I think what we as business owners or people in business, entrepreneurs, need to understand is it's a global market. If you don't want it to be international, certainly nationally, it's a huge, that the United States is our market now.
Yeah.
If you rewind before social media, before the computer, all right, so our market was probably much smaller, what we could reach much easier. But no, it's open. So I think we have to embrace that.
You said you're 50.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You don't look a day over 75.
You know, I felt like I aged okay between that 50 and 75 mark.
You did. Yeah. You did, like milk. What? I'm glad the table's long enough that I'll be able to see the punch coming.
Right.
What's some of your favorite resources that you like to recommend to people to start organizing their business or to start working on that type of stuff?
So the 10KSB program that we went through, I thought is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's an awesome way to get a whole lot of information in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah.
Makes you think about different aspects of your business, makes you create a growth plan, which is essentially what we do. That program is really what we do on an extended basis.
Kind of parallels.
Yeah. I think programs like that are awesome for a business owner to kind of get their feet wet of what does planning look like. It's very hard. We're not built. Most of us are not wired for planning. We're wired to do whatever it is we do in our business. So to step back and like use the other side of our brain to say, okay, I need to think about this for 12 months.
It's interesting you say that because that just kind of triggered something with me is the fact that we aren't wired for that because when we show up to school, we get told what we're going to do that day. Yeah. That sets us up for exactly, I mean, we're going to be told when's the homework due? Mm-hmm. What do we have? I mean, that is our entire, education.
Yeah.
And then when we come out and turn into business owners, suddenly there's no one telling us what to do other than the bank saying, write us checks.
Yep. I mean, in that scenario, the teacher did the planning, right?
Right.
She had her lesson plan.
Right.
That's what we're doing. We're creating a lesson plan, if you will, a business plan.
Are you going to yell at me if I don't learn the letter people?
Watch out for the ruler. That's still coming out. And if you don't do the erasers properly.
Oh, yeah. Rubber cleaning the erasers
Yes.
on that vacuum powered thing that usually would suck someone's hair into it.
Correct.
And scalp them. And
Yeah.
We grew up in a different time than what it is now.
Different, like erasers. What are erasers?
Right. That you had to. I remember that every week it was someone's job to wash the chalkboard.
Yep.
Bucket of water and
And a different person had to go to that vacuum thing and clean the erasers.
Yep. And you'd probably get in trouble if you washed the TV screens.
Yes. They probably frown upon the amount of water that would go on there.
Right. Yeah. That might not be not be good. If someone's going to look for a mentor or a coach, what tips would you give them?
So from a mentor or coach standpoint, and the difference between the two are the involvement is what I would say. So a mentor is going to you're going to get with them maybe once a month or on a lesser basis than you would a coach and probably a less structured format with a mentor, right? You're going to bounce ideas off of them where with the coach, you're going to say, okay, here's my plan. And the coach is going to have your plan and they're going to help you follow it. What I would say is, check them out. What business experience do they have? Have they done what you're trying to do? Have they done it already? Especially in a mentors thing.
Sure.
If you want someone that's going to be at the top of a podcast that, and you're just starting, let's say you want someone that was doing podcasts before, not Rob that never did one. I mean, you don't want to have me mentoring you for that.
No, because then I'll get way too close to the camera.
Yeah, then people will be in your business. So, but what I would do and say, do they have the skill sets that match what I need?
Yeah.
I think one of the things that set us apart and really kind of move us, without sounding braggadocious or anything, but like really allow us to connect with our clients is we've been and we are small business owners. This is not our first business we've run. We've had others. Man, I wish we had someone like us then.
Right.
And some coaches have come from the corporate world. That's not a negative. It just makes it hard for them to empathize with the small business owner because it's like, oh, well, it's in the corporate world, we had a couple extra zeros on our budget. Okay.
Right.
There is a whole set of issues that goes along with being a small business owner that the corporate world doesn't have, that they're protected from and insulated from. So I think it really helps that your coach or mentor has done or has come from the area that you're trying to go.
Sure.
If you're trying to build your business to some big corporation, perfect. Then that coach would probably be really good for you. So really make sure that you're matching what you need with what they can offer.
I love that. From a leadership perspective, what is one of the biggest lessons you've learned over the years about leadership?
I think what it is we all have to be open and honest. I have a client who is the sweetest lady in the world, but she held on too long to some people. And from a leadership side, we have to sometimes have those brutally honest conversations and say, this is just not working. Not so much, because if it's not because the longer you go, it's only just not working for you, the owner.
Right. It's not working for them either, or the people around.
Right. And so we have to be able to have those conversations as tough as they are. And in the times that we've been doing this for the last, what's been 6 years, this has come up a handful of times. And the people, they would like, oh my gosh, I don't really want to get rid of this person. How do I do this? What do I do? When it happened, the huge sigh of relief in the rest of the organization was like, oh my gosh, thank you, finally.
Just a collective, not just from the owner, a collective.
Yes. And it's like, oh, phew, this is great.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. And then all of a sudden, everybody else comes together.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not ever anything that I can guarantee will happen because you don't know. But 9 out of 10 times it's the addition by subtraction thing. So being a leader, and by the way, the owner is the de facto leader. They may
100%.
not be the leader inside the business, and that's okay. But now that goes back to structure and delegation and assuming responsibilities and things. They need somebody in there that can be the leader.
And that needs to be organized too, because otherwise you've got people stepping on each other's toes. And if they lead on these 4 things, but not these 5 things, that has to be clearly drawn out, because otherwise then this person goes over here, this person goes over here. Suddenly it's, I get that.
Then it's chaos.
Chaos. Yep. Yes. 100%. What are some of your personal goals outside of business other than making it to 51?
Yeah, making it to 51 would be a great milestone. I think because, it just would be awesome to be that 1 year closer to the next milestone. Would be awesome. Personally, well, I want to tie this in. First, there's from a professional side, our goal, Sandra and I will say, we want to help the local community one business owner at a time. Sure. So if we can help a business owner make more money, it's not always make more money. It could be get time back, right? Sure. So if they work 70 hours and now they're only working 40 hours.
That's a win.
That's huge. And so in theory, now they're going to go spend it with friends, family, doing the things they love. There's that ripple effect into the community. So that'll help the community. So that's our goal. From a personal side, it's really get better at golf. It's a struggle.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you brought that up.
And I should not have.
I saw the look on your face. A few weeks ago, we were at Big Shots for an event.
Yep.
And it was weird because I blew my shoulder out like 10 years ago. I haven't played golf from before that. And did I hit the ball further than you did?
Did have a ball that went further than mine. That is correct. You did.
I took pictures of that, and I believe for like the next 3 or 4 months I have it scheduled out to automatically send to you.
Right. But what's weird is the other photo of where I beat you in an actual game. It doesn't seem to be showing up anywhere.
No, it doesn't, because you're an actual golfer. I'm just a hack that can whack things.
You can. You did whack that very far.
One last big one.
Yeah.
How do you manage to stay motivated in your work? You guys do a ton of stuff.
Yep.
I know there's times where you're like, oh God, this again. How do you stay motivated in that?
It's because we have such a diverse client base, I absolutely love being able to talk to all the different clients that we have. We have a fabulous client base.
Nice.
It's so fun to be able to go in, and because we're able to help them achieve things that they hadn't achieved on their own. And now, Rob didn't do it, Sandra didn't do it. It's a collective effort with the clients that allowed them to get to where they are. And to be able to see somebody purchase a dream home, or for someone to be able to say, holy cow, I went on vacation for the first time since I started my business. Or, boy, we're setting records month over month over month. That's super fun for me.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's why we do what we do.
Makes it easier.
It does.
When you enjoy what you do, it makes it easier.
Yeah. And we have a little bit of fun when we do it.
Maybe a
touch.
Maybe a touch. Yeah. It's funny. I was in a conversation with a couple other people a few weeks ago, number of business owners, and one of them was like, you guys need to take a vacation, to me and someone else. And the other person has a chocolate shop. And we're sitting there and she's like, no, seriously, take a vacation. We're like, we're good. And finally, after like the third or fourth time of this person saying, take a vacation, the woman that runs the chocolate shop goes, I love this shit. She goes, I get upset when I have to go home at night. She goes, I wake up in the morning, I want to be there. She goes, I don't want to go on a vacation. I want to go into my work.
Well, tell Kristen that she needs to take a vacation. Kristen, I said take a vacation. No, but in Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yep.
What's the 7th step?
No idea.
Vacation and rest.
Oh, okay.
It is.
I'll
vacation and rest.
I'll have to find the time to read that.
That's right. Or just listen to it.
Good point. Good point. You think I listen to audio things occasionally?
If it's not your voice, I don't know if you do.
Wow. Is there anything else you think, I know this is dangerous of me to say, that you think people should know?
If you're going to start a business or you're in the midst of running a business, make sure you have budgeted for everything. One of the things that I see, especially in the startup side of things, they don't budget in the CPA. They don't budget in legal work. They don't budget in some of the ancillary things that are extremely important. Forget about having a coach, which is super important. They're not factoring that in. They're factoring in, okay, what's my marketing? What's my rent? What's the equipment? They don't factor in some of these other things. And I've seen it more times than not, that all of a sudden their budget's up. They're short. Yeah, no kidding. And then, we're all super ambitious about what we want to do. But what we also have to realize that we're probably only going to achieve 2/3 of that most of the time, especially at the beginning.
Sure.
So we have to have some leeway in the budget and some space. So many business owners are creating a budget that's so tight. There's no leeway. If they miss one sale,
done.
The whole thing's done.
Yeah.
So I would just make sure that they've got everything accounted for, and don't do it by yourself. Go get somebody to come alongside of you to help you along the way.
I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of helping along the way, this has been a big help for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people are going to find some good information in it. That all being said, if this reminds you of an old Muppet show, do me a favor, let us know in the comments. Thumbs up, anything like that. We've got another great guest coming up next week. I think you're going to find a lot of wonderful marketing insights with, like I said. That being said, do me a favor, take care of yourself. And if you can, take care of someone else. We will see you soon.